Good afternoon to our fellow friends, my teammates, and our lecturer, Mr. Mike. Today, our presentation is for TSLB 3273 English Language Awareness for our task 1. Now, before we start, let me introduce my group members. So here we have Ngo Yue Qing, Estherlyn Emalaya, Anak Jamba, and me, Eunice, Audrey, Imba, Anak Roland. And we are from PISMP TESOL SK, August 2, 2024, July 2029. So these are the contents for our slides. We are going to go we are going to look at the definition and the importance of context in language use. Second one, we are going to explain the use of English language in the video clip that we chose that I will show later on. There are 3 of them, which are situational context, cultural context, and interpersonal context. And we are going to look at right after that, we are going to look at personal insights and lastly, relevant literature. Sorry. So these are the video that we chose for our analysis for our presentation today. The title of this video is Comedy for ELT Pronunciation Problems. The duration for this video is around 5 minutes plus. So before we start to present, let's watch this video first.
That's it. That's £6.40, £10. Thank you very much. £3.60 change. Thank you. There we are. Oh dear. Oh dear. Old Ali Barber's a bit. That's it. That's £6.40, £10. Thank you very much. £3.60 change. Thank you. There we are. Oh dear. Oh dear. Old Ali Barber's a bit off course, isn't he? Look. Morning, Abdul. All right, are you? Very nice. There we are. There's the change, love. See you again. Ta-da. Now, sir, what can I do you for, sir?
I want mouse.
Mouse? Mouse? What do you think this is, a pet shop?
Chocolatey mouse.
Chocolatey mouse? Chocolatey mouse. Oh, chocolate mouse. You want a chocolate mouse?
No, chocolate mouse.
Yes,
chocolatey mouse.
No. We say chocolate mouse. No, we haven't got chocolate mice here. You have to go sweet shop for them.
No, not mice. Mouse.
Mice, my friend, is the plural of mouse, you see.
Chocolatey mouse. Chocolatey mouse, that.
Oh, that is chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse, you mean, is it? Chocolate mousse?
Chocolatey mouse.
No. That's called chocolate mousse.
Chocolatey mouse.
Yeah, yes. Well, you could call it that, I suppose. Well, I mean, you can call it what you like, can't you, really? Yes, one chocolatey mouse.
Chocolatey mouse.
Yeah, very good. So I'll wrap it up. What next?
Curry.
Curry?
Curry.
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 Curry?
Curry. Curry.
Yeah.
Tomato curry.
Tomato curry. Tomato curry. Tomato curry. Oh, tomato puree. That's what you mean, tomato puree.
No, tomato curry.
Tomato. No, I must correct you on this way. The pronunciation, the correct pronunciation is tomato curry. Tomato curry. Now, Molly, are we out of tomato curry, love? Tomato curry.
Are we out of what?
Tomato curry. Oh, it's all right. It's right here. It's right here under my nose. There we are. So one jar of very nice tomato curry. There we are.
Are you too drunk?
Shut up and clear up. Apologies on behalf of the wife, sir.
Soda?
Yeah, that's what I say, yeah.
Soda.
Yeah.
Soda.
Oh, yes.
Soda. Bicarbonate of soda.
Oh, bicarbonate. Oh, we're back on the list, are we? The bicarbonate of soda. Very good. Bicarbonate of soda.
Bicarbonate of soda.
Bicarbonate of soda. They have their uses, don't they, sir? Yes, sir. There we are. Bicarbonate of soda. So, yes, anything else?
Yes, bicarbonate, yes. Jewish?
No, she looks a bit Jewish, but she's not.
No, Chinaman.
We're not Chinaman. We're both C of E. C of E.
Oh, C of E.
You're not C of E. She's not C of E, are you? You're Muslim, ain't you?
No, C of E. C of E.
C of E.
C of E.
Coffee! I mean C of E.
Oh, C of E,
Where
yes.
is it, dear?
Well, it's over where it always is, by the juice, like.
Jewish.
Oh, that's the Jewish, is it? Oh, that's the Jewish. I see, yes. Now, what flavour Jewish would you like, sir?
Apricot.
A pricket. Oh, yes. Got your pricket Jewish.
Cinnamon.
What?
Cinnamon.
Oh, cinnamon Chinaman. Oh, she's found a Chinaman for you. That's very good. Your pricket Jewish. Yes, yes.
Frickin' Jewish.
What
yes.
else would you like?
Tongue.
Not at all, sir. My pleasure.
No, no, no. No, not the pleasure. Tongue.
Tongue.
Tongue. Tin of tongue.
Oh, a tin of tongue. Oh,
Tongue.
there we are. Look, there we are. The Bront tongue.
The
Is that the
Bront.
one? Yes, there we are. Bront tongue. What else then?
A pea.
Pum?
Pea.
Tindall frozen.
No, pea. I'm not talking pea.
Pea. Oh, I know. Oh,
Pea.
yes,
I
of
want
course.
pea.
Yes, of course. Yes.
I want-
Well, look, you go out here.
No, please, not that.
No.
Pea.
Pea.
Villendum pea.
Villendum pea. Oh, Villendum pea, yes. A nice slicky of that. So there we are. Villendum pea. Now, come on, give me a really hard one. Come on, sir, now. Give me a hard one.
I want a soup.
Soup. Ah, now I'm catching on to this. You want soup to wash your hands with, don't you? Yeah. Right. Well, we don't sell that, so you have to go down to the chemist. He's a very nice bloke. He'll cure anything.
My malady.
Yes, he'll cure your malady for you, yes.
My malady.
My malady.
My malady.
My malady.
My malady for the tuast.
The two hours.
For the tuast. The tuast at the breakfast with the COV on the tuast.
Oh, I've
My
got
malady.
you. Oh, I've got you. A nice cup of C of E, couple of slices of tuast with the malady on the top spread on. There we are.
the
Malady, that's the
malady,
stuff.
yeah.
There we are. Anything else, sir?
Cack.
Plum? Cack. Right. Oh, yes, cack. Very good. There we are. One Sierra Lee's, a very own chocolate cack. That's the one, isn't it? Is that the lot, sir?
Chocolate cack.
Yes.
Chocolate cack.
Yep.
Chocolate mousse.
Yep.
Tomato puree.
Yep.
Bicarbonate of soda. Jewish Chinaman. COV. Apricot juice.
Yep.
Tongue pea. Soup. My malady. And the cack.
Ah, wonderful. £300. That's it. Oh, lovely, thank you. 4p change,
Oh,
thank
no,
you.
please, no. No, please, no teaching.
Oh, no change, all right.
Now, thank you very much. I now go to Habdi Sherry.
Oh, Habdi Sherry, you're going down the boozer for a quick one, are you? Yes?
No, not boozer. Habdi Sherry.
Habdi Sherry?
The Habdi Sherry for the clothing.
Oh, haberdashery. Oh, Habdi Sherry. Oh,
Habdi Sherry,
I
yes.
see, yes.
Yes, I've got to get large brass ears for my wife.
Brass ears.
No, not brass ears.
No.
Brass ears.
Oh, brass ears. Right, yes.
Yes, for my wife.
Yes.
She needs large brass ears because her tights are enormous.
Okay, so what is context? Context is the surrounding information that gives something like word or action meaning to it. So to understand it better, let's break it down. For a word or phrase, it is the text or conversation around it. Like, let's take an example, the word bank. So of course, when you heard the word bank, you are going to refer to the financial institution, or you could possibly refer to the side of the river. Um, Now, for an event or situation, it is the background facts and circumstances. So imagine you at the wedding, you saw the bride and the groom cried. So of course they are cried because they are happy. They are married to each other. They are cried in happiness, in joy. Versus when you saw someone cry at the funeral. Sorry. Um, when you saw someone cry at the funeral, it's because they cry because they lost someone they love. So now, to sum it all up, context provides the full story to prevent the misunderstanding. Now we look at the importance of context. So context helps to prevent misunderstandings. Context they provide more detailed background, more clear background, so that it can avoid the confusion and also errors. The second point is context clarifies meaning. So context can help us to explain um, who, what, when, why, and where behind the message or behind the conversation interaction. And the last The last point for this importance is that um, context helps to build connection. Shared context creates a common ground, which makes communication more relatable and effective, and it helps, and eventually it helps people to connect with each other. Now, we will look at the first one, which is I'm going to present the situational context. Okay, what is situational context? Situational context is the specific environment or situation where communication happens. Like it it can happen anywhere, anytime. Maybe it can happen at the hospital, at the canteen, at the classroom, or at the mall, or whatever it is. As long as the communication happens at this specific environment or situation. So this situational context, it includes the physical settings, as I mentioned just now, and in this situational context itself, people may talk about something like, for example, people might talk about their relationship, uh, what happens what happens to them just now, like what did they do, and maybe, just maybe, um, in this situational context, they are able to share the knowledge about something, like they shared about the history, they shared about something that they knows. Okay, so why this situational context matters? This situational context matters because it actually can directly shapes on how we interpret the meaning of words and what people are referring to in a conversation. So now, um, moving on to the importance, just the same as uh, the importance of context, situational context helps to prevent the misunderstanding, in which means that this situational context that helps people to interpret the message correctly, to avoid conflicts, to avoid lies, to avoid confusion. Now, situational context actually can help us to guide on how to like um as we can see on the second point, it helps to guide us on how to speak. Like maybe in some situation, this situational context actually can helps you to determine which tone, which language are you going to use. Like for example, when you were asked to do a speech, of course you're going to use formal tone, formal language, and when you were talking with your friends, of course you're going to use casual language, because if you use formal, it's going to be very awkward when you are communicating with your friends. Now, the third one is situational context adds more meaning into it. Like when we like in this situational context, of course, the communication happens face to face. So when you're communicating, you obviously you can see the body language and you can hear the tone very clear, so that you could understand better, like what are they trying to talk about, what are they trying to say, what are they trying to talk about. And last one is that communication, situational context can help to build a better connections, which it can help to people to communicate more effectively. Now we are looking at, now here's the analysis. Now we are going to look at the setting. um I use the W question. So I use the W question to do my analysis for this one, for our situational context. Okay, now the settings. So when we watch the video, the physical location is that it located at a small local grocery shop, or maybe it located at a corner store. So now, looking at the social environment, the setting in this video is quite informal and is very personal. Why? Because in this video, we can see the shopkeeper is being casual. He's being friendly to his customers. Now, um, the second point, I use who for the social roles. In that video, there are two of them. The main one, which is the first one, we are going to look at the shopkeeper. So the shopkeeper, he is the service provider because he is the one who owns the shop, and he is the native English speaker. Because if you watch the video, we can clearly detect that, oh, he speaks very good English, so he is the native English speaker. So because he is the shopkeeper, so he has the knowledge about his shop inventories. He knows about his shop very well than the others. So the shopkeeper, he played the dominant role because he is the one who controls the transactions, and he has to be active in order to solve the problem that he has with his um, customer, which is the miscommunication. Now, we're looking at the second social roles, which is the customers. The customer, he is the service seeker, the consumer, and he is a non-native English speaker. Because you can see in the video, you can hear very clearly he has the accent when he speak English. Now, what is his goal in that video? In that video, his goal is that to entirely depend on the shopkeeper's ability to understand his request. Because in that video, the customer wanted to buy something, so yes, he is going to depend on the shopkeepers so that the shopkeeper could understand his request. Now, the last one is that the purpose and the topic. I'm using why and where. So the main goal is that very straightforward, is that to buy and to sell products, nothing more and nothing less. Okay, now we look the context. In that video, the context, it acts as a safety net, because the very clear goal, as I mentioned just now, is what saves the interactions every time. Because um because when the customer say mouse, the shopkeeper knows and he doesn't panic, because he is at the food shop. Why? Because he is at the food shop. And where lah bodoh. Okay, I'm sorry. Because where? Because he is at the food shop. And why? The customer wants the product. So, of course, when the customer said mouse, he immediately knows what the customer wants. So, possibly the customer don't even want the actual mouse. He must he must want something like a product that sounds like it. So, in that case, the customer actually refers to the chocolate mousse, not the chocolate mouse. Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. I hope everyone clears about it. And now I'm going to pass to our next presenter of the group. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eunice, and greetings to Mr. Mike. My name is Amber, and today I will be the second presenter from our group. In my presentation later, I will be explaining two contexts, which are cultural context and interpersonal context. Without further ado, I am going to begin my presentation now. So, the first context is cultural context. Cultural context can be defined as the environment, circumstances, and the factors that affect the way of life of an individual, or a group of people within a society. Those factors include beliefs, values, customs, and social behaviors. This cultural context is important to help us understand listening and perceive responsiveness. It also influences communication norms, expectations, and behaviors. The third point is different cultures, meaning different values, are being emphasized. For example, certain cultures emphasize a lot on the levels of directness, indirectness, and the use of nonverbal cues. These cultural elements also influence how people enact, interpret, and react to listening behaviors, and also how they perceive responsiveness. Now I am going to explain the cultural context that is related to the video that has been shown at the beginning of this video, which is stereotypes and power. I am going to begin with the Arab customer. He speaks with a very strong, exaggerated Arabic accent. He struggles a lot with certain pronunciation as well, such as he pronounced the word moose as mouse. And then throughout the video, he uses direct speech and assertive tone despite many mispronunciation to show that he is confident with himself. He is also the source of humor, and throughout the video, he laughs a lot as well. Now, I will move on to the second character, which is the British shopkeeper. He obviously speaks clear, standard British English. He is polite but also uncertain while communicating with the Arab customer because sometimes he is unable to understand what is being spoken by the Arab customer, which causes him to use questioning tone to confirm meaning. He is seen as the language expert in a video because he is a native speaker and he has much better English language proficiency compared to the Arab customer. Same goes to him. He also shares laughter respectfully throughout the video. Now I'm going to explain the points that I have said just now. Okay. Accent contrast between the Arab customer and the British shopkeeper shows linguistic inequality. Linguistic inequality refers to the inability to manipulate a particular variety of a language within a particular context, either through lack of exposure or through some form of disadvantage. In that video, the Arab customer's accent has a comic effect that can unintentionally reinforce stereotypes of non-native speakers being less fluent or less competent when it comes to communicating in English. However, humor also helps to soften the situation because in this kind of cross communication, mutual understanding and tolerance are very much valued. Now I will move on to my second point, which is the humor and the social norms across cultures. The first one is the British culture. British culture uses a lot of humor, irony, and sarcasm. A solid example would be when the shopkeeper says, "What do you think this is? A pet shop?" When the Arab customer says that he wants a chocolate mouse instead of a chocolate mousse. They also find misunderstanding funny and they find politeness through laughter over minor mistake. In contrast to British culture, Arab culture is more direct and respectful, which we can see from the way the Arab customer talks throughout the video. They value honor and dignity, which is why laughing for them may be a little bit offensive. An example from the video would be when the Arab customer takes the money away from the counter when the British shopkeeper keeps correcting him on his pronunciation of puree. He pronounces it as puree instead. Okay. Now, I will move on to the second context, which is interpersonal context. Interpersonal context means It involves two or more independent people pursuing both individual and shared goals. Interpersonal context also emphasize the relationship between the speaker and the receiver in a communication. It provides conversation partners the opportunity to influence each other. It could be intentionally or unintentionally. An example would be a small group of five engages in a face to face interaction to achieve a specific goal. For example, completing an assignment. Throughout the discussion, they will have to voice out their opinion effectively so that they can communicate clearly with each other. Now I will move on to the first interpersonal context related to that video, which is roles and relationships. Each and every one of them have different role. The first character that I will explain is the shopkeeper. He is a native English speaker, which means he holds more linguistic power since he knows this language better and he speaks English fluently more fluently than the Arab customer. The Arab customer, on the other hand, is a non-native English speaker who is confident and determined to communicate in English, even though he struggles with certain words. Last but not least is the shopkeeper's wife, which mediate the conversation to smooth the communication process. Now I will explain a bit about these roles and relationships, at which it creates a slight power imbalance due to the difference of English language proficiency between the shopkeeper and his wife and the Arab customer. However, the interaction managed to stay friendly until the end. An example would be when the Arab customer wants to buy soda bicarbonate, in which he keeps saying it as soda bicarbonate of soda. Uh, Bicarbonate of soda. Okay. Last but not least is repair strategies and collaborative communications. There are a lot of strategies applied throughout the conversation in order for the shopkeeper and his wife to understand the Arab customer. Number one is obviously repetition, in which the shopkeeper repeats many times what the customer says to check understanding, including chocolate mousse, bicarbonate of soda, bicarbonate of soda, and puree. Number two is clarification. The shopkeeper and the wife help the Arab customer to correct his mispronunciations a lot, although this only happened at the beginning of the video because afterwards, the shopkeeper uh, doesn't really correct the mispronunciations done by the Arab customer because of the money because where after the Arab customer tries to take away his money back from the counter and the shopkeeper doesn't want to lose his customer, so he just follows what is being said by the customer. Number three is rephrasing. Certain words and phrases are restated in a clearer and simpler way to form mutual understanding, uh, especially when the shopkeeper and his wife want the Arab customer to understand what they are saying. Last but not least is mediation, like I have mentioned just now. And this role is played by the shopkeeper's wife, in which she is the mediator who plays a role in explaining or smoothing over miscommunications throughout the video. I think that is all from me. Thank you for listening, and I will pass the presentation to the next speaker. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Amber. So now it's my turn. I'm Estherlyn Emalaya, Anak Jamba, and for my part, I will present about. Firstly, it's about personal insight. So we will look at the first one, which is language and pronunciation barrier. So in the video, we have uh, two types of speaker, which is non-native speaker English language and a native English speaker. Okay, so for the customer, the Arabic man, um, he has Arabic mother tongue that strongly affects his English pronunciation. Like for example, in the video, um, he was trying to say chocolate mouse. I'm sorry, he was trying to say chocolate moose, but however, he pronounced it as chocolatey mouse. And also for pie, he said pea, and for puree, he said pari. And then here, it is actually related to phonological interference from my perspective, which is L1, or here as we can see the definition for L1 speaker, it is a native speaker of first language, which is um, in if we look at the customer, uh, he is a native speaker of his own language, which is Arabic. But somehow he was trying to speak in English, which is now he become a L2 speaker, which is someone who learned a second language later in life or has varying degrees of fluency, which can be acquired consciously through effort. So as we can see that he put effort um, to say those English words so that people, especially native speakers or those who are fluent in English, can understand him. So, firstly, it is obviously language and pronunciation barrier from my perspective. That is my personal insight. And then next one, we will look at um, spelling confusion. Okay, he was reading a list from his wife as his wife asked him to get some stuff. So when he was reading those lists, um, for example, he was reading the word moose, but however, he pronounced it as mouse. So here, from my perspective, it is because of the spelling. Moose and mouse, they have the same letter, which is Mouse and E. The difference is just for moose, it has two S, two the letter of S, and mouse has only one letter of S. So that makes him confused that he might have rely on spelling cues, which is here. If you see, spelling cues is actually um, a term that is used for children when they are learning to read. So there are three types, which is semantic, synthetic, and graphophonic. So semantic is actually related to does it make sense when they are reading, um, like in terms of the meaning, in case they are not confident of uh, the word that they are reading. And for synthetic, does it sound right? Does it sound good in terms of the pronunciation, the sound, especially for those who cannot read, that like they're just about to learn, and for non-native speaker when they're trying to read other spellings in other language. All right, and then last one is graphophonic. Does it look right through visual? So I think from my um, personal insight, I think it is related to the last one, which is graphophonic um, cues, because um, it has quite the same of spelling. It's just the difference is the double letter of S and one letter of S. So that's why he decides he decided to say the word as mouse, which is it sounds more familiar instead of moose, in my opinion. All right. So next one is lack of vocabulary. Okay, for lack of vocabulary, um, in the video we can see that the customer does not concern at all that people might get confused with his pronunciation, and he is very confident, like he doesn't like to be corrected. For example, the shopkeeper was trying to correct him, but then he get irritated and he was about to leave and take his money away. But somehow the shopkeeper choose to have the money, so he'll he just play along with the mispronunciation of words. All right, so here, for example, Jewish and Chinaman. So for these two words, okay, most probably he doesn't know what Jewish is. Could be. It doesn't. It is not in his vocabulary, as maybe he is not exposed to other cultures. Like he just moved to that country. He just learned English and explore the culture. Or could be he knows those words, but it's just the way he pronounced those two words actually might be also different from his perspective. Maybe he knows the term, the real term of Jewish, like the word is that word exists, but the way he pronounced it could be it is not Jewish, could be he pronounced it as something else. All right, so that is for personal insight. Now we will move to the next one, which is relevant literature. Okay, for relevant literature, which is after the personal insight that I've made some reading and research, and it is more, it is clearer that one of it is it is um, related to phonetic learning difficulty. So, okay, first one here, as we can see, the table, we have two words, which is moose and mouse. Moose is the real word that he was trying to say, and mouse is uh, the wrong word, uh, the wrong pronunciation that he has made. So, if we see at the IPA format for moose and mouse, okay, for moose, it has the oo as if we say the word food. The moose, the vowel sound is oo, which is long, close back, and rounded vowel. Meanwhile, for mouse, it's just like the ow when we say house. So here in phonetics, it is related to diphthongs. We have gliding vowel, which is the exchange of like two vowels combined and it creates another sound. So moose and mouse is different by their vowel sound, even though spelling is almost the same. And then native speaker, yes, English native speaker, they can differentiate between oo and ow. But however, for those non-native speakers, for example, this um, Arabian customer, um, they cannot really differentiate it through reading. They cannot differentiate the difference between the vowel sound when it is combined, or in other words, using English diphthongs. All right, so we'll move to the next one, which is lack of consonants in Arabic IPA. So just now we were talking about vowel, and now we will move to consonant. Okay, um, in Arabic IPA, as you can see the table here, they do not have the English j. Okay, in phonetics j, English j, when we are trying to say juice. Okay, so in the video, it is also related to juice. He was trying to say juice, but somehow it turns out to be Jewish. So after doing some research, I found that Arabic speakers use the closest sounds they have. Like for example, they do not have j, but however they have sh and measure je, je, like more to z, je, je, and s for shoe, like shoe. Uh. So when they're trying to make it closer to the sound that they have, it turns out to be either juice, or juice, and maybe through that reading, juice, it has the vowel I there. So they add some vowel that make it sound like Jewish for the for the English speaker, for the listener. Yeah. So it turns out to be Jewish instead of Jush or Zush. So um, that is what I have found, and I think that's all from us. Thank you, my friends. Yeah, thank you.